Hello everyone, welcome to my first ever video. This video is going to be on creating our own backend JavaScript server using Puppeteer and Express. I used these two libraries in my most recent project to create a backend server that had real-time updating data. First, let me give a quick explanation on Puppeteer and Express. Puppeteer is a Node.js library mainly used for web scraping. You can control Chrome to access any data on the internet. Express is a backend web application framework that can be used to build APIs. Therefore, by combining these two libraries, we can create a fully functional backend server that gathers data in real time that we could use on our applications. The first requirement for using these libraries is to have Node installed. To install Node, you can go to the Node.js website and download and install this file. To get started, let's open up VS Code. I already have a directory called server, and I will run npm init-y, which will initialize a Node.js project. Then we can install the two libraries that we will be using. We can do this by running npm install Puppeteer and Express. Once that is done, we will create a JavaScript file that our code will be on called index.js. In our index.js file, we first want to import the Express library by calling const express equals require express. Then we want to initialize a new variable called app as an Express app. Next, we can make our new Express app listen on a specific port of our local host by running app.listen, and then the port number, and then a function that we can have inside a console log just to see if our Express app is listening correctly. Next, we will be creating API routes on our app, specifically a GET request since we want to send data from our backend server to our frontend. We can do this by doing app.get, and then we specify a URI route, which can be anything, but I'll first call it /hello, and then a function that has a request and a response as the parameters. Every Express app will have the same structure, where we first have the app, and then the request type, and then the URI, and then a function that has a request and a response. To specify the response for this GET request, we can do response.send, and inside we can have whatever data we want to send. For now, let's have a simple JSON that says hello and then hello world. Now let's test to see if our Express app is working correctly. To run the app, we want to run the command node index.js. And we can see that our console log is working. Let's see if the data is working. And let's open up a browser to see our API in action. We can go to localhost, and then the port we specified, and then the API route we specified, which would be hello. We can see that it returned hello and then hello world. Now, if we wanted to use this data on our own website, we can do so by fetching the data from this specific URI. Let's go back to VS Code and see how it works. Let's create a quick HTML file that we can use to see how our data works. We use our API, have a script that will fetch from our local host 1000/hello. And then when we get our response from the API fetch, we want to return response.json to convert our JSON back into an object. And then we get a data from that, which we can use and console log it to see it in action. And let's go live. And then we can do inspect elements. Okay, seems like we have an error here. So the reason for this error is because there's a policy that disallow fetch function from different origins. To fix this, we need to add the course package. So let's go back to VS Code. We can do npm install course. And then on our index.js file, we want to import course by doing course equals require course like this, and then have our app use the course. Now let's start up our server again by doing node index.js. And then if we go back to our browser, and then if we go to page.html, we can see that we are getting our data. Now let's move on to Puppeteer so we can get some real data that we may want to use for our websites. So similar to Express, we need to import Puppeteer. So we can do that by going once the Puppeteer is required, Puppeteer. And then we want to create an async function. So, and then in the function, we want to create a new const variable called browser that will equals await puppeteer.launch, and then a const page that equals await browser new page. So this is similar to how like we would open up Chrome and then open up a new tab. Then we need to choose a specific website that we want to scrape. For this tutorial, I'll be using YouTube Trending, but any website will work. So we want to open our page to YouTube Trending URL. So we'll run wait page.goto and then the URL. And now the new page would be open to this URL. Then we want to go back to our browser and go to the URL ourselves. So we want to look for elements that we want to scrape. I'll be scraping the links of the top trending videos on YouTube. We can go to inspect element, find the element you're looking for. So let me do this. So this is the title. This is a tag, so it might have the URL right here, ahref for the YouTube URL. So let's take this video ID or this element ID, copy it, and then we want to come back to our index.js. And then in our code, we want to do const and then a variable name. I'll call it YouTube Trending equals await page.evaluate. So this evaluate function is similar to how we went to inspect element to look for the element, and then create another variable, a trending element equals document.query selector all. We want all the videos that have the ID video title. So now this trending element is going to be a list of all the HTML element that has the ID of video title. And then from this, we want to return an array by mapping through the trending elements. And for each element, we want to get the link, which will be in the href. And then we want to return it as a JSON format. like so. And then we can close the browser since we have everything we need. Now, similar to how we did the API routes for hello, we need to do the API route for YouTube trending. So we want to do app.get. And then let's specify a route. Let's call it trending with a function that has a request and a response. Very similar or exactly the same as the format last time. And then for this one, we want to send the YouTube trending. Call our async function. We can just do this by doing this code and then try running index.js. That Puppeteer you can see is running. And now let's go back to our browser. And oh, here it is. We can see that we have a list of YouTube links. And now to use this on our page, it's the same way. Let's go back to our VS Code. Go to page.html. Instead of fetching localhost colon 5000/hello, we would want to fetch trending instead. And then our live server is still running. Let's open up my browser. Then refresh. Let's go to console log. And now we have an array that has all the YouTube links. Okay, and that was it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.